you've got something to share, pick up the phone, turn it up, Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Francis Pierre at the wheel.
Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. As soon as this program starts, you could start to contribute. You could participate. You could pick up your telephone, 442-0175 and call. Yes, my brother. Welcome.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, good day.
All right. I don't know if I get the new ball. I don't know. It's what, 12:02 up here.
Man,
you know.
That is a new ball you're having. You shine still on it.
I don't know. I don't know if you could make it out that voice, but
no, man, I pick up your voice a long time, man. we have too much history for me not to forget that voice.
Yeah. All right. Now, I want to make a point about that closure road. Now, I'm gonna start by saying, number one, I am not a supporter of that government, and I don't like the trend which they are going. However, we have to be realistic, because how many people does that road serve? From Goa to St. Andrew.
I think the road divide the village. So it divide the community. I can't say exactly whether it is 40 or 50%, but there is a significant amount of people that are affected. So most of the people in closure, perhaps they would frequent Guave more than Grenville. So the children perhaps will go to the schools more in St. John. So the roads seriously affect them, not only for pedestrian purpose, but for agriculture and otherwise.
Okay. Now, having said that, you will say that that road served about maybe 500 people?
It could be. I don't know the exact number of people living in closure, and I don't know whether it's a 60-40 or 50-50%. Some people believe it could be slightly more than 500 people affected.
Now let's do the economics here. Now, Grenada is not a rich country, and to spend in excess of $2 million to serve 500 people and to buy an X-ray machine for you could buy 2 X-ray machines for $1 million each to serve 120,000 people.
So
that's the trend I think the government is taking. It's not economically feasible just to serve this short amount of people and spend that kind of money.
perhaps
They will rather kick the ball down the road for the other administration to take that bill. What do you think?
well, one have to look at the whole community, the agriculture fact, tourism, and that is perhaps the only road that cross that community to go to St. John. So it is not used only by the people from Cloger, but from the people from St. Andrews, St. George's who use that road to go there. So the road has
Now,
serious economic importance.
how much money does that road contribute to Grenada's GDP?
Well, I don't know, but I think it's significant because of the agriculture. And you have people living there, and so you can abandon, if you decide to abandon the people that is not that ought not to be on the option to abandon the people. I think
No, not what I'm saying. The cost doesn't the cost outweighs the mean. The as far as I saw, the road is gonna cost about like 3 million. That 3 million spent elsewhere in Grenada's economy to serve 120,000 people
well, I think
as opposed to 500 people.
some ordinary folks are saying that there are options. They believe that the contractor involved, it might have been more than his pay grade. So they believe that the government just have to get on to other contractors who have experience, who knows better, and to address the issue. Some people are saying that the contractor involved, it is a little more than his pay grade. And perhaps that's what
All
needs
right.
to be done.
Now let's look at another way. What is Grenada's reputation with China?
We have
Why
a
don't we approach China and say we have a CBI program?
well, I don't think,
We take 100 Chinese.
but Carla, the government has not indicated so far that money is the problem. You know? No, the question is not an issue of money. This thing, the road crash, and the government just shut them out and they're not saying anything. But the ordinary
No,
people are pointing out alternative routes, plus they are claiming to get proper engineers.
Mr. Pierre, you don't have to spell that government is tight for money. Initially, they said that they was going to buy computers for Form 1 and Form 2. Now they said that the parents have to pay.
The government is a
They're
kind
dancing
of,
around like Indians around the fireplace. Okay? They don't have the money. What I'm saying, why can't they afford China?
well,
China did a lot of things for us.
again, we might be jumping the gun because the government has not indicated. The government doing a lot of things with money on the ground here. You know? While people say the government don't have money, I say that is relative. The government is doing a lot of things. The government is putting lights in different places. They're doing a lot of things. They just seems to ignore, for the time being, the closure road. But it doesn't.
Is it because they think that they have lost that seat already?
I don't know. I think it's difficult to ring. I think when you watch the government attitude, they don't look as a group of people that don't have money. The government spending money as if they didn't cook. The government doesn't look, and I disagree. The government claim that the inland revenue is taking in more money than they projected. In addition to that, you know they receive, they say, $1 billion from selling passport. So there is no indication that money is the problem. The government cut social spending. The amount of millions of dollars they used to spend on debushing and etc. They cut out these things. And the government spending money on the area. So I don't get the impression that this is a government that is strapped for cash.
Mr. Pierre, let me give you an example. For example, if you set your bar at 3 feet to jump a high jump, when the bar was 5 feet before, and you reach 4 feet, didn't you excel?
Of course.
Okay. So when you set your budget, your aim so lower than what was there before. You must both beat your chest and say we achieve. Look at the revenues, the private revenue doesn't reflect that they are going up. Anyway, Mr. Pierre, I've been
Yeah.
talking too long,
Yes, my brother.
so I'm going to listen now.
Yes, and I've avoided closure road. I've avoided it because I think closure road is the result of gross incompetence. Closure road is as a result of gross incompetency and political retribution. The government has been playing politics. So if you're not of the color, or if they perceive that you're not real yellow, they would not have give you that job. And a number of people are advancing the view that the job was above the pay grade of the contractor. But there are other contractors in the country that the government could go to, but maybe the government believe they are a little too green. Yes, caller, welcome.
I am the voice of one crying out in the wilderness.
You're
Senior.
welcome, my brother.
How do you do?
Great, man.
Senior, let me first take the opportunity by thanking the people in the parish, well, St. Patrick's, especially in the area of Mount Rodney. We had the opportunity to go out there with the political leader, Honorable Emlyn Pierre, to do a groundwork. Mr. Jelani Glean also was there. He's a brilliant guy. And for what I am feeling, he's very much favored among the people. What I carry away after doing the groundwork is that the people was very much responsive. We did Operation Every House. And I want to thank the people for really honoring us and chatting with us, whatsoever grievance that they have in their community. On a scale of 1 to 10, I said 9.5. Thank you very much for the people of Onkarani and the surrounding area for really welcoming Honorable Emlyn Pierre and Jelani Glean, among others. Thank you very much. Senior, I had the opportunity to pass on Bamboo Bridge, and I don't know for many people. What I saw on Bamboo Bridge way now was around that pipe, and if I see well, I think that they take cement and sand and I think they plaster against it. This thing is a death trap. When I look at it, I don't know who in the good wisdom had oversight a job like that. This is a bridge. This bridge was not designed to accommodate all these big trailer and big trucks that we have now. Our road, those big trucks we've seen on the road now, our road was not designed for those things. A certain part of our road. And for you to put that pipe there and still come and take cement and wedge it against the side, I'm very, very, very much disappointed that the person that do that did not do an assessment. There was nobody to oversee that, and that is a place that where people are passing. And Mr. P, is somebody passing on that side, and a truck or a vehicle coming across, and this person will have to hold for dear life on the side where the pipe is there. Now, if they slip down, what's about our elders? So I'm asking, please now, sir, to really relook this thing. They could have just passed that pipe behind the bridge. This thing is not safe for pedestrian at all. I rest my case, sir. Thank you.
Yes, caller, and I'm glad that you spoke about. Yes, caller, welcome. Welcome, caller.
Would they be in the listening audience?
Yes, my brother.
Well, I'm really sorry to come in there this time. But
When you come in
I
as a
think
leg break bowler, you swinging the ball. Sometimes you have to swing the ball. Remember
I'm
Julian?
missing you, ball, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm missing
Julian
you,
used to
ball.
swing.
But I get a vision. I should really talk to Grenadians, and I thank you for allowing me to use your media. But the only thing is a bit short. But I will try to run
It's
to
sometimes it's
quick.
better when we shot, you punch. No preamble. Go straight to the subject matter.
What I want to speak about shortly now is that is a failed NDC government. And this is the worst government I have seen since 1967 Grenadians inherit. It is the first. Number one, I'm going to give some first which this government committed. First, this government scored a first as the first government with no vision. Two, first government in the history of Grenada to decide to win by lie and rule by lie. That's another first. Another first in victimization. This is the first government what have so much victimization in the history of this country. Fourth, first government since after 1973 to raid the Grenada Development Bank. That never happened in the history of Grenada. It is the first government to raid the Grenada Development Bank and make the bank use for the purpose it was not created for. First government to have a minister of finance, visa who was revoked from a place like the United States. That's another first. This government created the first. Another first don't care leader we ever have in the history of this country. Most of the other leaders show concern. But this time, there is enough evidence to prove that this leadership we have at the moment don't care. He and his entire team. So I think I get a vision where I have to one Grenadian that we should try our best to get out of the situation. And there is many more, which I will leave some for some other time. Because to go to speak about the worst of this government, it will take me more than your program, Mr. Pierre. I also want to invite everyone who could make it possible tomorrow to our meeting at Victoria, because we got to spread the message around to Grenadians so we will not go back and make the same mistake again. They're already spreading lies even on this United States and Cuba situation. What they're saying on the grounds is not what the United States have said. But we know the policy is lie, so is expected. So Grenadians, I appealing to you.
Yeah.
Speak to your children. Who have ears to hear, let them hear. Who have eyes to see, let them see. It cannot be more worse.
Yeah.
Mr. Pierre, I rest my case.
Yes,
Thank
and
you, sir.
yeah, thank you. And I believe you're correct. And it's the first government to dabble in their cult. I've never heard any leader in Grenada that we could have accused publicly for dabbling in the occult. And he has been chastised for entering a country secretly, the governor of Lagos State. But in addition to that, we have a foreign minister. While the prime minister is traveling much more than the foreign minister, the prime minister become the de facto foreign minister. And we cannot say this government, this prime minister is telling more lies than all other political leaders put together in Grenada since 1967. And preacher, I'm glad you raised the issue of Bamboo Bridge. I spoke about it on many occasions. I call on the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northeast, but I don't believe she passed there yet. When she passed, she liked to take picture and go on social media. I hope she take a picture and put it on social media. And if she's satisfied with Nawasa, say that. And if she agree with me, she must post that. You see, yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Pierre, a week before Tuesday, on a regular appearance of the opposition on GBN, Mrs. Pierre appeared as a spokesperson that day for NNP. In passing, through questions and comments that was made to her by the host, she mentioned that there would be a forum in Queen's Park relating to what I define as or could call a redefinition of the description of children in this country. But a whole set of laws or legislation is expected to be tabled in the parliament in due time. And there it appeared to me, based on what she said, that the NNP is against the idea, and so they want to discuss it to the people, which to me was absolutely necessary. I meant to have been a part of that discussion Thursday gone, last week Thursday. The Tuesday, I met a high-ranking officer or a high-ranking member of the party, and I asked him on what day that would actually be. It was confirmed to me that it would be on the 28th, which is Thursday, not last week Thursday. What time the forum would be? It was 6 o'clock. So I was prepared to be a part of the forum, and you might remember I spoke about that a few days before. Only to go to Queen's Park and told by the security in the Queen's Park, because I couldn't find any evidence of, I walked around the whole stadium, couldn't find any evidence of people or a meeting going on. So when I spoke to the security, I was told that the meeting finished since about 1 o'clock. Or something like that. I think when the meeting was much earlier in the day. So I wasted my time. I'm a little bit disturbed because I know that there's a spokesperson chosen for the party. I'm not a party person, but I listen to what's going on in the country. And there's a very skillful spokesman for that party. I never heard from the time Mrs. Pierre announced that there would be a meeting, I never heard a word coming from the NNP, whether it's on the news or even on my Facebook page, because I usually see things on my Facebook. I saw nothing. And I'm wondering if the party is cognizant and conscious of the poor public relation that is going on with them. Because that meeting was supposed to be a very interesting and important meeting. And I did not become a part of it, but I would like to express myself relative to it. But just a while ago, listening to the news on same GBN, I was to understand that the Attorney General is going to be going back with the bill in Parliament again. And as much as the NNP is opposed to it, this is not a party thing. Grenadians need to be aware of the
Uh,
explanation of what that bill implicates. And as far as I understand it so far, that's something that should be rejected totally, completely. Grenadians should not be acquiescing to that bill in any form. I'm hearing that they are talking about they want to have amendments to whatever aspect of it. Once that bill is going to look like what I understand it to be right now, to be rejected. And I think a person like you, Mr. Pierre, you have Andre Donald, you have other people who should be finding out exactly what is going on about that bill. You should have interview with people like Mr. Pierre, the spokesman for the NNP party. And this type of thing.
you think
Because I want
politicians want to
enough
talk to people like me?
clarity.
Come on.
Eh?
You think
What you say,
politicians?
Mr. Pierre?
Go ahead.
No, but we need to clarity. Yes, they might have done it in Queen's Park. I didn't hear it. And you don't have enough publicity on the issue. And this is a serious, serious bill. You may say one of the most serious bill ever presented in the country, where children will be redefined as far as I understand it. And the redefinition should not be accepted in this country right now. Let children be children. Let parents have authority and right over the control of their children. When you're 18, you become a big man, a big woman. You go on your own and you want to make decisions of that sort. Not before you reach that age. Take care, Mr.
Yes, scholar, thank you. I've always said, anytime you hear politicians sneaking in bill in parliament, it is not in your interest. Anytime the government is sneaking in bills in parliament, it is not in the interest of the public. During the heater carnival, this corrupt government sneaking 2 bills in parliament at the same time. They tamper with the constitution to change the constitution. And Francis Alexis. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, I'm feeling kind of happy this afternoon because I think most of the topic that you touch on and the persons I call touch on, I ain't cool with them. So I'm feeling kind of happy. You know, but I'm not feeling happy with what is going on in the country. A lot of things is going on in the country that is not right. But some people don't like to hear me say that. But the fact is the fact. Yes, the government is popular for the time being. They're good. They're popular. People like them. But a lot of things that is doing is not done properly. And that is hurting me. When I hear the Prime Minister was interviewed and he told the interviewer that they could go to the court, they could take the matter to the court. When you fired 5 persons from Carriacou, and you tell the host of the program that they could go to the thing, and they went, and judgment is out now that the people were wrongly dismissed. But is the NMP making enough noise about that? I don't think so. I mean, that's a criminal offense to the people. No worker, no government have the right to fire any worker because
since that happened, Chester Humphrey intervene and get some compromise redress. The government fire him again. This government of Grenada has gotten rid of workers that was working 20 years. They get rid of them again. The only reason they get rid of them is because they find the green.
Yes, I accept that. But I'm saying no government should do that. I could understand you have two jobs going, or you have a job going.
What do you mean no government? The NDC is doing that.
But I am saying that it should not be done.
Well, that is.
It should not. I'm not saying it's not done, you know.
And I admire you for speaking about that.
Yeah,
The Prime Minister said the only reason NNP getting assistance is because he don't know who the real yellow is. So they start to tell him the real yellow. So these workers was extremely quiet, you know. Yeah. One of them said to me since election, she don't identify with NNP. But when you live in the community, whether you're quiet or you're brisk, they say she's NNP. 20 years working with government.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't feel happy over those things. And I think more pressure should be put, more talk should put on these things. You're not supposed to fire somebody because
NDC militants say let them starve.
Yeah, you're not supposed to fire somebody for the political thing. If the person is talking politics on the job and they're not pulling their weight, you have a right to get rid of them.
Well, whether they
you have no right. They did the same thing in Granba. Yeah. You have no right to fire people because of the political
aspiration. 31 workers. We tell them 19 is
and the NMP sit back and we're not loud enough and those things.
Well, I called on the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northeast to go to Bamboo Bridge, to go to Deborah Charles and Pastor Lucian. But I don't know if Bamboo Bridge far, because I've not heard, I don't know if she go. But I constantly say, the shepherd must smell like the sheep. And I have no sympathy for a politician who won election and then lose. You know. Anytime a politician win election and that politician lose, I well agree with the people.
Mr. Gary used to say, no, let them have the work, let them have the work. Don't matter them. Keith Mitchell. I hear him in conference already more than once. Leave them to work. They give them work. They have to work too.
Well, this government come with a policy to fire them.
The Prime Minister said that he don't know who is. I mean, come on.
The Prime Minister
we take this thing as a laugh.
They refuse to
Prime Minister
give people assistance.
telling his rally people, his people in the rally, that the reason why NMP is because we don't know who is the true NMP.
We're not telling he's the corruptor in chief.
And people think that do that, but I am telling it and I'm saying it. A lot of people don't like to hear that, but it is true. Deacon is popular and he's using that as a whip on a lot of people. He's using his popularity as a whip on people, and that is not fair. And
well, the only people Deacon really going after is the poor of the poor, you know. Because some of the others that is in a good position, he bribing them. He giving them money for a good relationship.
Mr. Deacon, no.
But those who are affected the most,
you know that
are the poor of the poor.
I spoke to Mr. Jonathan last week in person. That's the first time I see him in person. I met him in Guelph and we spoke. And if I had passed Mr. Jonathan in Guelph before, well, I passed him and I didn't realize. And a partner called me back and said, you passed Mr. Jonathan? And we spoke for a while. I told him, I said, listen, you heard what Ken Jones said? Ken Jones said he knew. Ken Jones said that he knew 2 weeks before that what they call him would have been fired. Ken Jones said that.
Well, nothing is wrong with that because you must understand that political parties and political leaders have their inner circle. And if he is part of the inner circle of Deacon, he will know.
But
so
yes, but the Prime Minister give us the impression.
The Prime Minister lying like one horse trotting.
He said he went to the Governor General and then he came to the people.
Anytime
and he still asked the gentleman if he find his face looking vexed.
You mustn't. Well, I don't know. You have faith, man. Anytime the Prime Minister speak, you have to give him a pound of salt. He lying like one horse trotting.
But he get into with his lies.
Well, let's go. Yes, why not?
He get into with it. That is a big thing. But I don't satisfy me with that going.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm
not satisfied, but I'm saying it doesn't take away that Mr. Deacon. Somebody say that the government want money. Government have money, but they're spending money while they're spending. They will spend money on things that is not necessary because they want to keep those situations going. There are people right now, Mr. Pierre, that pass exam as nurses and are not being employed, and they tell you that they will have sufficient nurses.
The kind of green. Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
The government of Grenada under Deacon Mitchell is vindictive and victimizing people, particularly those of the lower rank. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, I think the last statement that you made there, the government is vindictive and victimizes people. Clifford must stop coming on the line and bragging that the prime minister is popular. He's popular. He's popular because he find people left, right, and center. He's popular because he got rid of Laco because Laco said there was corruption in different areas. What the hell Clifford talking about?
Well, again,
he could be popular.
But let me say something.
He's not popular.
But let me say something.
Listen, you are some people like evil. Some people like evil. Clifford seem to like that when people say how they like what that going on. Clifford like to hear when people saying that people bragging that he's thing. Don't come and tell me he's popular. He's popular about what? Firing people, robbing the bank. Working with the occult. That is what he's popular for. People saying things, Clifford. You don't join with them and saying it. Don't give me that at all. Excuse me, sir. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Another point that preacher made was Gillian Glean. Yes, caller, welcome.
Let me call back to tell that caller.
You really want to do that?
Yes, because it's not the first time, not the second time.
Go ahead and punch.
Caller must understand.
I don't want us to turn the program to that.
No. But
then make the statement you're making.
A lot of people trying and you accept it. The caller must understand that I am Clifford Bridgman. I speak as Clifford Bridgman. And my opinion doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. It's how I see it. How I feel about something. Every time that caller deliberately picks at me, he have his opinion, he says things to your opinion. And I will continue, once the air is there, to say things as I see it. I make it clear that I do not support what the Prime Minister is doing. And I stand firm on that. I do not support, and there's a lot of things that he is doing as Prime Minister that I'm not in co with. But I'm saying there is a level of popularity with him, and the people is nursing that and using it as a trump card for them. Okay. And we can't go away from it. It is the truth.
All right.
Right.
There are some callers you want to be more tolerant to them. They are not regular callers. And sometimes they say things and, they file out. There are some callers on the radio, you are regular callers. So even if somebody throw a pot shot on you, it doesn't prevent you from the next time you're coming to present your case. And particularly when you give reasons for what you're saying. Another person may not like your opinion, but your opinion is your opinion. It's not facts. It's just your opinion. And we have to encourage the discussion. And we have to be tolerant to dissenting views. Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, the radio in the back, so you're getting a delayed broadcast. So you're on, but you're listening to the radio. So call us back again. Yes, caller. Call us back again. Yesterday, we stopped on a topic that I decided that need to be discussed. And I decided anytime I have an opportunity. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. Okay. I decided anytime I have an opportunity are going to continue to bring this topic to the fore. The last caller yesterday called, and he was basically saying that China, that wasn't his words, but to sum it up, irrespective of the system China have, China is doing better than everybody else. Words to the effect. China is one of the world's greatest producers at this time. And in almost all countries you go, you find Chinese product. And United States of America had some issues with that and other. And China have a lot of products in Grenada. So the caller believes he prefer the Chinese system because the Chinese system seems to be more productive. And I believe we should hold discussion on those issues. The Chinese now are perhaps the leaders where communism is concerned. And what we mean when we say the left wing, the communists, the Marxist Leninists, you hear me always say that. What is the difference between the communists, the Marxist Leninists, and Grenada today? I think that we must ask. Because the caller seems to give the impression that because of the system in China, they are more productive. And that may be well so. But what is our issue with the communists? The communists do not tolerate personal and press freedom. So they don't want dissenting views. So if the Communist Party or the leadership says that in that area of Granba, we want to build a factory, and as a result of that, 300 households will be relocated. They will make the decision, and within a couple days, remove 300 households from Granba and put them wherever they want to be them. Whether it's 50 miles or 1,000 miles away. They don't have to consult with anybody. They don't care about the culture of the people, the religion of the people. And if you protest, you could be killed or end up in jail. That is one of the big differences. In most countries, you cannot do that. You have the court system that is independent from the executive, the judiciary, and you could take the government to court. Your land is freehold, is your land. And while government could acquire your land, they can't just acquire your land because they come up with the idea. You could take the government to court, and the court could supersede. They could go against the government action. And the court could charge the government and the prime minister. In China, it's not so. If the judge, they say send you in jail, and the judge don't send you in jail, they jail the judge. In China and other communist countries, there is no press freedom. The press that is there have to print what the government wants. That is a big difference. The issue is not about productivity. Even if China have a lot of millionaires now, they call it state-sponsored capitalists. The government make the decision. They say you have to go in the army, you have to go in the army. China get up on money and they say everybody must make one child. One child. And that was a policy for a lot of years. And most people want a boy. So when they made a girl, they kill it. When they make, let me repeat that. When China say one child per family, And most people want a boy. In our society now, it doesn't matter what we get, girl, but in 40, 50 years ago, people want a boy. I want a boy to carry my name. I want a boy to leave me property for. People used to want to leave property for girls. So when China passed the law, one child per family, they would kill the child if it's a girl. China reached a stage now that it has come a bachelor country. Not enough women. A lot of elderly people, nobody to take care of them. So they change the law now, they say you can make 2 children. But if you make 2 girls, you want a boy. So they kill the girl. China don't promote religion. They say religion is the high of the people, the marijuana of the people, the opium of the people, the coke of the people. They don't respect the religious leaders. And a number of religious people are worshiping underground. So when we speak about communists, we must know the communists in Grenada, they don't mail about the church too. They recognize the power of the church in Grenada. So they lobby the church. Some of them pretend to be Christians. But the first chance they get, they will shut down the church. Thousands of religious people were killed in Russia and jailed. So I want you to understand, when I talk about the Marxists, Leninists, the communists, open your eye and take me on. But watch those who are involved in the forefront of these political parties. They don't matter about church. They support abortion. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good afternoon again. A few times I hear you using that word, the opium of the people, that the communists are saying. The word is not opium. The word is the opiate of the people, and that word means suppressor. What keep people down? They say in religion or the belief in God and such thing, keep people in fear, intimidate people, keep them down. That's the word, opiate.
Thank you, caller.
Opium.
Thank you, caller.
Right. But I hear you talking a few times. But on the point of something again, in our system of parliamentary processing, the opposition leader is the head of the accounts committee in the house or relating to the government. Are you hearing me?
Go ahead, we're listening to you.
Right. Yeah, okay. I heard Miss Pierre, and actually I've not been hearing enough from Miss Pierre. And even when Dr. Kate Mitchell was the leader, I was not even hearing a word from him during that time. But a few days ago, I heard Miss Pierre, I think it's 2 days ago. Sunday, yeah, today Sunday.
Go
I think
ahead,
it was.
caller.
There was Miss Pierre, there was a statement on the radio that she made. And she said, point out that about $400 million of this government's time period, of all them taxpayers' money, have been used for consultation fees. And that is an amazing statement. These are the kind of things we need to hear. What is actually going on with our monies? What the government is actually doing that is keeping on this country? And that includes consultation for the hospital that is to be built and all of the projects that they may have in mind. And you're not seeing the projects. And that's where the problem is. So money is going to consultation. People are getting rich on the backs of Grenadians. Maybe as payback and kickback, if I say too. We need to hear a lot of more of this kind of statement coming from the opposition leader who has all the access to the information that is going on in government. She can call, or such people could call on the ministry to present information, to present accounts so that she can do assessment and analysis of what the state of the economy is.
Thank you, caller.
And that's a serious issue that you're not hearing from her enough. You're not hearing from such people enough. And it's not a party thing. This is an issue of the state of the economy, what the government is doing wrong or right. She has all the access to it. And this law that is expected to be presented, these are things that we need explanation for. Clarity. People should know exactly what the law is saying or mean to say. We're not hearing this kind of thing, and this is what we let you.
Thank you,
Take care,
caller.
Mr.
Thank you. And we have, the question is who is responsible to give you? Because one of the answers, the information is there and people have to go and find it. You have a few people on the radio that is speaking and pointing out these things, and these people perhaps in a lot of pressure and they're doing what they could. In addition to that, when some people call, okay, let me leave this one. And as I believe that our people must understand what we mean when we speak about the extreme. No, Grenada is not Dominican, St. Vincent, St. Lucia. And that was our last caller for the day. Grenada, in Grenada here, we have had the experience with an extreme group. They did not believe in the court system. So when the two extreme group had an impasse, there was nobody to go to settle the impasse. Now, if you reach in a situation, you could go to the court. The court interprets the law. The court settles issue. You could appeal. You could go to the appeals court. Based upon what it is, you could go to the Caribbean Court of Appeal. You could go to the Privy Council. But when you have the communist countries, there is no appeal. When there is an impasse, either you execute the leaders or they execute you. Now, the communist countries, they don't like religion. And let me repeat, color. They say religion is the opium of the people. Opium is a drug that is more used in China and Asia than coke. In his 50s and 60s, I would not have used the word coke. I would have said the marijuana of the people. They say religion is like a high. That is why they put it to a drug. The communists don't believe in religion. They don't respect it. If they get a chance, they're closing down all the churches. A number of religious people die in the Bolshevik Revolution. They realize that they can't stop people from wanting a God. So they start to influence the religion for they to be in charge of the religion. So in China, you must go and Google about Falun Gong and the Uyghur people. I don't even pronounce this one correctly. The Uyghur people. They're sending them. It's like when Morris Bishop sent the Rastas in Hopeville to be reformed. The Rastas call it Copen in concentration camp. So we have among us in Grenada a number of people that is propagating that extreme ideology. But they can't come and tell you to go do that. So they ride on a cars. And we went through that already. Morris Bishop went against Gary because of excesses with the police, because of personal freedom, because Gary, he said, was preventing press freedom. But when Morris Bishop come in power, he jailed those people who objected and wanted to make a newspaper. That's how Leslie Pierre ended up in jail. And then he arrested people who used to support him but they disagree, so they get very quiet. That is how Kenny Larson and him end up in jail. And when people put pressure on Tillman Thomas, they jail Tillman Thomas too. And when the bishop of the Catholic Church, they put pressure on him, and he went to Bishop. Bishop would tell him, let us suppose, and I'm using time now, Bishop tell him come to a meeting 2 o'clock. 4:30 waiting for Bishop still. Then Bishop cancel the meeting. When Rastanan and that Rasta from Dominica, can't remember my name now, after they went to Bishop, the Rasta from Dominica leave Grenada as fast as he could. And Bishop jailed the Rasta. Bishop jailed 3,113 people. Those are the people he signed paper for. But about 5,000 people was in jail. And nobody can say nothing. They went to a community in Montreach. They said, come out and hear what the revolution had for you. And that day, the word on the ground is 125 was locked up. They say one didn't come back. The people from Tivoli, they seized people's house. And there was no court you could go to. So when you hear they come back here and telling you about that, but they're going to use nectar, that they make nectar mango nectar, and they build an airport. But I would not speak about the excesses, the barbarity, the cruelty, and the suppression of personal freedom of our people. I don't know if you ever hear me talk about the women, they walk on their back. Now, these are the extreme group. They don't respect the law. So we must have this discussion. They don't want to discuss that. You hear me talk about the political commotion. They are deeply influential in the NDC. And they're creating the social and political environment. That is why they're propagating classism. Because it's a good environment for them to ride on a cause. And we're back with you again tomorrow. And you have an opportunity to call. I thought it necessary to respond to my brother. And if I get a chance, I'll go speak about Gaza. Thank you very much.
From end to end, turn it up. Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Francis Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to end. And if you've got something to share,